is a very significant improvement in the quality of research, in the relevance and the quality of research. And I think there are a number of reasons for it. One reason is the internet. In the past, maybe 12 years ago, 10 years ago, most African researchers had trouble getting sources. There were very few libraries. They couldn't get the documents. They would beg me to send them reprints and so on. With the advent of the internet, the information superhighway, they can now access almost any documents, any recent literature, and this, I think, has made a big difference.
How can we help farmers to adapt to near-term climate change?
The most important thing is that for Africa, and why it is extremely important, Africa is natural resource based. Most Africans, about 80% of the Africans, derive their livelihoods from nature, which is either growing crops or having livestock or some forestry activities. So any of this reduction of rainfall, it means you're compromising food security, yeah, because a lot of agriculture is rain-fed agriculture.
If growth is the rate at which consumption is going is not checked, or growth is not checked, climate change itself can stop that process.
So when you have these unpredictable, unsteady, reduced amounts of rainfall, that compromises that in one aspect. Now, the other thing I want to mention about climate change, which is really important for Africa, is that you get already an increase in incidence of the disease. We're talking of things like Rift Valley fever, you're talking of malaria, you're talking of TB, and even when it rains, you have a lot of these waterborne diseases. So for Africa, which is already poor, very many households are poor, you're putting another burden on their livelihoods. Once you stop the food, there is the disease that has come in. So it is a mix of all those things. There's need for governments to mainstream activities of climate change in their development programs. And from what we heard yesterday as part of the discussion here, is that every sector, every department, governments will have a focal point, a focal person within each key sector or ministry that will see that there is a deliberate attempt to mainstream aspects of climate change in their programs. So in that way you are elevating the problem of climate change to a higher level and, as it were, forcing those ministries or forcing those departments to have an action plan or a strategy on how to incorporate aspects of climate change in their normal day-to-day programs.